Bryson's and Lancashire Restoration Co. In this video, I'm going to show you how I have transformed this old Victorian bit of brickwork into a nice decorative piece in a kitchen, or indeed what will be a kitchen. But at the end, there's a little magic trick. So watch it all the way through to find out exactly what I do to repair the damaged brick. Great little tip. And don't forget, if you do enjoy this video, subscribe at the end and give us that big thumbs up. Right, sit back, get your brew and enjoy the video. Good morning. Right, it's Monday. Chucking it down. We were going to go and brick the windows up today, but it's far too wet. So what we're going to do... Well, a bit of internal work. Chimney breast. They want it decorative. They don't want it plastered. So my task is to remove all of the mortar. Well, not all of it, you know. Get it ready for repointing. And repoint it with a bit of the good old 3.5. And some light coloured sand. So we'll take you through a step-by-step on how to transform a dull-looking bit of brickwork into something worth having. Let's crack on. Have you ever wondered what it's like inside the old chimney breast? Let's see if we can get a light in there, light it all up for you. It's a bit cobwebby and things in there. Obviously not been used for many years. But that's what it's like inside your chimney breast. For those who've never seen inside one. And that'll go right up to the stack. That hole there. It's a bit like being in a cave. Okay, so I've already started on this on Friday. I finished off some pointing outside, so I dropped on this to finish the day off. So what I've done there is I've chopped some of the mortar out. I've changed a couple of brick that were buggered. Which one's worthy? I think it's like that one and that. That was just cement mortar in there, so I took that out and put that half brick in there. Yeah, so what we've got to do now is we've got to cut all these joints out, and it's really soft mortar in there, so we'll probably just use the pick or something like that to get it out. Right, we're going to start cutting out some of this mortar, and I'm going to use a saw blade, which is a masonry saw blade, to start the cutting out, and then we'll attack it with a pick and chisels and all sorts just to get it nice. Here we go. So at this point, some of you are thinking, what's he buggering about with that saw for? Why does it use a grinder? Simple answer, dust. I've not got the extractor with me, and the attachments that I have for the extractor and the grinder are a bit restrictive, so I tend not to use them. But I have ordered some new ones, which will be much better. Meantime, we'll use the saw and the old pick. Let's do it nice and dust free for a change. You can see how easy that comes out. Because I've put that saw cut through it, it's weakened it now. So you don't have to tap it and it just crumbles away. This stuff is fairly soft anyway. And I could use the saw blade to clean the whole joint out. But it's battery and it'll wear down quick. Tend to wear down quick on this machine for some bizarre reason. But yeah, that's what we're doing, using the old pick. So you've got the general gist there of what we're doing. So what I'll do now, I'll carry on, probably for several hours, chipping away at this brickwork, getting any specks of paint off it, that sort of thing. I'm going to try and bring the big beast of a compressor in, so we can use things like the needle gun, etc. on it. Might not be able to though, because I've had to park quite a way away this morning, and it's raining. I don't want to drag a great big compressor through the rain and get it all wet. Right, so we'll leave you there and we'll come back to you when I've done a bit more of the raking out, and we'll show you the next stage of making a brick slip, putting it in and changing the odd brick, and of course the repointing. Catch you in a bit. Right, well, that's that all chopped out. I've got most of these bits of paint off it too. I brought in the big compressor. Bit noisy, but there you go. It's got to be done. So there's a few bricks that need changing, and just a little bit more messing about with, just to get some of the paint off that's still on there. But apart from that, we're ready. Right, well, it's afternoon now, and I've started the pointing. It's going to look alright actually. It'll look quite dapper when it's done. It's been a hard day, that. A very hard day. Get all that cut out and have to strip a load of paint off it and have to take some brick out and things like that. So, fair old bit. Now we'll just do the old easy bit, the old pointing. And what I'm doing with this, once I've done the pointing, also I've gone so far with the pointing, I'm then giving it a whack with the churning brush. Because I want it to have a rough finish. It's supposed to look like old brickwork, isn't it? I want it to look like what it actually is, which is brickwork that's been cleaned and repointed. The idea is it's to look old. it's coming along nicely now. This should dry fairly white, well, like an off-white, but it's 3.5 NHL with a very fine sand. So I've done it at a 3:1 gauge. If it was a gritty sand, it'd be a 4:1. Plus, if it was external, I'll be using something a bit grittier. But in here, it's just decorative. That's all we're doing, just making a feature of it and getting out of the damn rain. So the next job is the old churning brush, and give it a bit of a tap in. And what that's going to do, that's going to kind of age the look of the mortar, because I don't want it to look new. Like I say, I want it to look old and worn and weathered. Right, just need to give it a little drink now. Right, because it's indoors, obviously compacting is important with the old churning brush, but the cherishing sheets we don't need to do because there's no wind, there's no sun, and obviously no frost. So it's cold enough and it's damp enough in here to just leave it as it is. And a very good morning. So we're back on the chimney breast again today. A little bit drizzly this morning, but it's supposed to dry up. So what we'll knock up some gear and we'll get all the face of it done. I don't know if you can notice or not, if I move to one side of it. If you look at the brickwork, you can see that it's running out of level by a lot, by about a brick. Up there, if you follow my finger, you can see the brickwork tapers away. So they've run it out of level when they built it and then tried to correct it by putting a bit of tapered brickwork in. And if you look at the archway on the, which will be the left-hand side, I think. It's my left-hand side anyway, that side. You've got, on top of the arch, brickwork. But if you look at the other side, there isn't actually any brickwork on the arch, or cut brickwork, should I say. So they've kind of cocked up there somehow. Not quite sure how they've managed that, but they have. Anyway, let's get back onto the process of repointing. I'll try and make it as interesting as I can for you, because I know it's not the most interesting of subjects. But if you watch to the end, you'll see the end result. You'll see how it looks, all pointed up. Right, let's crack on. And there we go. That's now pointed. I've got the size to do. But, that's the main face done. And you can see now that wedge of brickwork there. Very bizarre. Well, the client's been down and she loves the finish, the old look. What do we call it? Rustic? I don't know. You can see little flecks of stone in it and things like that. It just gives it that bit of age. Now, a bit of brick that we faced up before is that one. It's now starting to dry and blending quite nice. And once it's fully dried, you won't be able to tell it from the rest. Right, let's crack on with the next bit. So we've got to that stage where we're nearly complete now. We're all that end done. The front's done. And now what we've got is this last bit here. But we do have a slight problem. So what I'm going to do now is show you a little trick to get around that. They're going to be a bit awkward to get out, these. I don't want to be damaging this, this plasterwork here. So we'll use a little trick. Now bear in mind this is a decorative wall, it's internal. So no moaning, please. So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a little trick to fill in these holes here. Put some bits of broken brick in there, bedded in with the mortar. And we fill out flush with the front of the damaged brick. I don't know why these have been cut out of here, but it's probably been for maybe some shelves or something that have been here at some point before this doorway was here. Who knows? Who knows? Right, so I'm pressing it in nice and firm, so you know that it's got all of that brick at the back there. And the secret is to make sure that it's nice and flush. You don't want any ridges in it really where it meets the other part of the broken brick. Okay. So I know what you're thinking now, but that's going to look awful. Well, just wait a moment. Wait a moment. We're not done yet. We're not done yet, so don't panic. Now here, paying close attention. This is where the trick comes in. What we do, we get a broken brick, one of them. Watch very carefully. Now it looks very dark at the moment, but as that dries, it'll go the same colour, exactly the same colour as these bricks. So once that's dried and pointed in, you're never going to know that there was a big hole like that in that brick. Now there's a little tip for you on how to do an invisible repair on a damaged brick. You could do it externally, but to be quite honest with you, You'd be better changing the brick if it was external, because obviously outside, you know, you've got weather and so on. But inside it's not too bad, you can get away with it. A pretend brick. We'll put some bits of broken brick into this now just to beef it out a bit. You don't want it all mortar. Right. Bit big. Not anymore. No longer too big. And they'll just build out the very deep spots there. And again, once the mortar's dry, they'll just become part of one solid mass, which is what we want. So again, pushing it well in. Mortar's getting a little bit dry at the minute. You have to dampen it up slightly. Now you could do this potentially if it was like a rustic brick or a handmade brick or something like that. You know, you can match the patterning with your trowel. And you don't want it perfectly smooth and flat, because obviously these aren't. You know, and if you do that really smooth and flat with no marks in it, it's going to stand out. And the idea is that it's going to line in and match in nicely with what we've got already. And out of there. Cut out the joint. There we go, a couple of marks in it just to give it a bit of a realistic a couple of marks in them as well. They're a bit smooth. Right, so what happens now is that dust, that brick dust, will stick to that mortar because it's wet. But you want your soft brush, which I've put down somewhere, just to give it a little bit of a tap, very gently. Give it a little tap like that. And what that's doing, that's just pushing it into that mortar. Just a secondary. Not too hard, just very gently. Don't brush it that way like that because you'll brush all your dust off. Like I said, once this has dried, it'll go light like these. And you'll not see that it's been repaired. Now that's taken, what, 10 minutes to cut out. There'd have been 1, 2, 3, 4 bricks to cut out of there. Hammer and chisel. Then put new bricks in. Clean up the new bricks. You'd have been talking an hour. So it's a very good time saver, that. Like I say, you know, it's inside really rather than outside. You can do it outside, but it's going to get weathered, etc. So you're better off if you've got a brick, for example, outside, and it's in an arch, and you're a bit reluctant to change it because you don't want to have to shore up the arch, etc. You can do this, but you colour your mortar up, and obviously use lime. And the other option is to cut some brick slips and stick them on with a bit of epoxy and then point around them. That's another option. But yeah, there you go. Little tip for you of the day. Right, I'm going to point this lot up now, and then I'll give you that final view of it. And that's it then, we're done in here. We're back outside. So outside we have brick replacement and 2 windows to brick up and a downspout to put on, and then we're done. We can go. We can get away. Next job. Thank goodness. So is anybody not convinced with the little trick? See that? That's not a brick. That is done exactly as I've just shown you. As you can see, you cannot tell it's been done. That was a big hole this morning. And as it dries, it goes light. There you go. One for the disbelievers. And there we have it, people. Job done. It's quite a transformation from what it was. And I do really like the way that brick works out. That's, yeah, it's amazing that. Right, and here's the bits that we patched in. It'll be a few days before it's dry, so it's quite thick. But it will, I guarantee you, go really light. And you'll never know it's been patched. Well, not so much of the old hints and tips on this one. Just something that's maybe interesting to some people. You can see what can be done with some old brickwork and how you can transform it. I mean, it'll make a lovely feature. It's going to be a kitchen, this. Like I think I said earlier about the back of it, they're going to have that tiled. And then there's a big range cooker thing going in there. We've got some chaps coming to put a flue liner down for the extractor and things. Apart from that, we're done. I'm going to go outside now and I'm going to fit a downspout. So nothing you haven't seen before. So I'll cut the video for this week here now, and we may get another bit of a video in this week as well for you. Kind of a part 2, where I'm outside doing the old brick replacement and bricking up windows. So, as usual, give us that big thumbs up. We need those thumbs up. And welcome to all the new subscribers this week. And don't forget, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. And we'll see you all very soon.